fellow traders. It is time for the recap for Monday, September the 14th. I'm John Hoag, and thanks for trusting me with your time. I was not aware that Dan was not going to be here today. JD and Dan will be back with you for the recap tomorrow. I know we all missed them, but hopefully you had a good trading day today. It's only Monday. There is a lot going on this week. There's a lot of opportunities and possibly some pretty decent ones at that. We got a lot of important information coming out this week. Today, just kind of glancing over what the markets did. Crude oil kind of put an inside day in extended trading hours. Remains balance intact. So this is probably, I think, day 4 of the current balance of crude oil, and it is coming into rollover. The E-mini S&Ps had a pretty good attempt to get above and hold above an important inflection level, that weekly kickoff level. Unable to do so by the end of the session, even with some help from, as the title says, some energy from a potential vaccine for COVID is in the rumors, as well as tech rallies this today. So there's some pretty decent opportunities, perhaps a little bit to the upside for the equities in store. Perhaps still a lot of information. NASDAQ also kind of failed and even stopped short of an important inflection level or resistance area. You're going to see how that plays out again for the rest of the week. Gold largely in balance. Chance for some potential breakout on the daily chart. We're going to see that in the charts shortly. The euro, small range, fails to fill the gap late in the day or early in the day. We never did fill that gap that we opened with, but we did have an attempt to. But what doesn't happen can be just as important as what does happen. And for the Japanese yen, directional morning may be leading us to an upside potential breakout. We're going to watch that volume, watch that open interest. Make sure you like, share, comment, question, feedback is always appreciated, and I do enjoy a good heckling, and heck, most of the time, let's admit it, I deserve it. I'd like to say hello to everybody. Felix, good to see you. Steve, hello. Subconscious, Nick Mo, and Scott Mitchell. I wonder if this is the Scott Mitchell lives in my neighborhood. Probably not. Anyways, let's take a look. Let's go into the charts and see what happened today and where things are looking for tomorrow. As always, we'll start with the daily in crude oil. Not a very exciting day in crude. Just not a lot going on, not much range. You can see it in the daily chart here. It's an inside day in extended trading hours. Really not much going on. A little bit of a doji at the end of the day here. Could mean anything can and usually will happen. We seem to be holding a pretty good trend line along the top of this channel here. Haven't taken that much of a look here, but it does look like we're holding a pretty good trend line at the bottom of this channel as well. Let's see. Yeah, we got a couple of contact points there. So we're going to look for this market to break out one way or the other in the coming session here. We do have, EIA on Wednesday, back to Wednesday, no holiday this weekend or this week. So it's looking closer and closer like we are going to need to break out of this either through directional activity or general attrition. So let's see what this looks like tomorrow. Let's see what our overnight traders do. And here's the E-mini S&P. So looks like we are going to close below this 3380 level. It's weekly kickoff high. We looked above it. We did not find very much volume up there. We spent a little time, but it seemed like nobody cared. So we're closing back down below it. Take a look at how this played out for us on the 30-minute. So we really did not have much of a gap. What gap we did have, we filled. Move to the upside. Here's that weekly kickoff high. Really just kind of holding up here, but volume really dying off during the regular trading hours, during the lunch hour, if you will, and then unable to close back above it here in regular trading hours. So we're still wrestling here. We're still wrestling with this upper trend line here. Um, and remember, there is important information due out. The FOMC meeting begins tomorrow. We may see these markets just kind of wrestle back and forth. Our participants, our longer term participants, I should say, really looking to just protect themselves from any major moves that may or may not happen. We don't know what's going to happen. Here's the NASDAQ opening, driving towards weekly kickoff high, unable to even reach it, basically taking out the low of the regular trading hour session here. That was a bit of a surprise to me. And then just kind of rotating back to kind of centrally located inside today's range. These markets, you got to remember there is anticipated information due out. We don't know. Well, I'm pretty sure we know the Fed's probably not going to be doing much of anything. However, we don't know what they're going to be talking about. Sometimes it's more in the vocabulary or the verbiage that they use that's more important than what they actually do. Here's gold. We're talking about that potential upside breakout. We had a trend line here off the high here. It wasn't not necessarily all that strong. We had basically 3 points of contact, but there was one that was short, one that got through. We were closing above it today. What happens in the equities is certainly going to probably have an effect on this. Here's the 30-minute chart. Here's our opening range. Remained the low of the session, but really just not finding big buyers up here, but enough to hold price above that trend line. Another interesting day for us tomorrow. Okay, here's the euro, and for a change, we're a little bit more interested now in the Japanese yen than in the euro. Euro is just kind of holding structure in that upward digestion that we see going on here. We've got higher lows, we've got higher highs. I mean, we're going over a month here of basically remaining in balance and value, and just kind of run more by shorter time frame traders than anything of the other time frame or the longer time frame traders. We did not close the gap. We left just a bit of a gap left. We tried to gain reacceptance inside value from Thursday. That didn't work out, so we tried to come back down, tried to reclose the gap. We were unable again to do so, and really just kind of falling flat. Where I think it's interesting here is in the Japanese yen. We had a pretty decent move to the upside. Our opening range was like 3 ticks. If we just bought when we broke out the opening range, we would have had a nice upside move for us today. Mind you, we're still in longer time frame balance, but we've been kind of closing in on price here, and this could be the potential first step towards changing market state from balance to possible upside move. We are going to have to see if we can get to that weekly kickoff high first. So here it is. Our opening range is the low of the regular trading hours session. Just a really decent move to the upside, and then really kind of falling into la-la land, it seems. And I'm afraid that tomorrow we may see a little bit more la-la land in some of these markets as we get closer and closer to Wednesday's FOMC meeting. There is still some decent information due out. Tomorrow we've got manufacturing index, import-export prices, we've got red book, we've got industrial production. And that's what we've got looking at us tomorrow morning. All right, so get a couple of other comments here. Howdy, John, Sarah, good to see you. John, Josh, Scott Mitchell, doubt it, but if it would be great for coaching on demand. I'm not sure. Oh, Scott Mitchell. Yeah, there is a Scott Mitchell lives in my neighborhood. I haven't seen much of him lately, but just wondering. But yeah, that would be convenient, wouldn't it? Hey, Coach. Good to have you here. Good to have here on the close. Thanks, Bud. Thank you, Michael. Nickmo, there's enough space for a silver chart under your crude chart. Would be great to cover silver as well. Boy, you guys don't want me to sleep. Always, we do always appreciate the feedback, and something we will consider doing. Tonya, hi. Nearly had a 70-point move on NASDAQ, but let it turn back too far on me. There's nothing wrong with taking a 70 point profit in the NASDAQ, Tanya. That's a pretty substantial move. People work pretty hard for that. I know we're working on taking bigger bites out of the marketplace, and but again, it's a pretty big bite. You start with that and keep looking bigger. Lacey, my dog Lacey wants to say good afternoon to everybody. Apparently, there's some people in the field next to the house, and she does not like when that happens. So she's going to sing to us a little bit. Yes, working to hold, of course. Fantasy, well, the euro will be confused. The Fed is trying to kill the dollar. Boris is doing his best to kill the sterling, and the euro is caught in the middle. Wow, if the yen is exciting one, I'm worried. LOL. Yeah, it seems like the euro and I just looked at the dollar. It was at the exact same level I mentioned this morning. There was not much action in the dollar or the euro today. So, hello KJ, Tanya, working to hold. Yep. Felix says hi to hey Lacey. Felix says hi. Hi Felix. Lacey says hello. All right. So I didn't really see all that much in the news. I don't really focus that much on the talking heads on TV. Just kind of looking at some of the market movers. Coal's big update today, almost 10%. Apple up 2.6%. Tesla up 10% today. Some pretty big moves. Citibank, one of the worst movers today. And one of the things that I did see, and I'm pretty sure this is kind of old. I think our neighbors, landscapers are here. Sorry about the noise. I think that's what's got Lacey all spooked here. I saw on it was all over the news, I think, this morning and probably over the weekend. Potential sign of alien life detected on inhospitable Venus, and if that's going to happen, it's going to happen in 2020. That's what's going to happen. We're going to find out. We're not alone. And I don't know what's scarier, if we are alone or if we're not alone. Maybe they'll be friendly. Maybe they'll give us all their technology and things will be good. Everybody's saying hi, Lacey. All right, so let's take a look at this day in history. September 14th, 1814, Francis Scott Key pens a poem, which is later set to music, and in 1931 becomes the American national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner, written today in 1814. Now, there's a couple other things that I thought were 1964, John Steinbeck, the author, awarded the Medal of Freedom. 1974, I Shot the Sheriff hits the song charts. The Eric Clapton version of the Bob Marley song I Shot the Sheriff apparently hit the charts on this day. And what else? Oh, 1956, IBM introduces the Ramac 305, the first commercial computer with a hard drive that uses magnetic disk storage, and it weighs over a ton. We have far more power in our palms than that computer did, and it weighed over a ton. Unbelievable. All right, Fannis, you're asking about what I make of this whole SoftBank thing. I don't know what to make of it. Aliens are coming for the futures. Facilitate trade with them. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Fannis, I read into the whole SoftBank thing. I don't really know what to make of it. maybe I need to read a little bit more into it. Fannis, if you have any thoughts on it, I'd sure appreciate it. Right. Yes. Get all the aliens down here. Get them a futures account, and let's make some money, huh? It's kind of funny. We used to you see the badge up there when somebody was new in the pit. There was a new member, somebody who was just coming into the pit for the first time. Actually said new member on the badge, which I don't know why they did that. I don't know if they thought the people in the pit were going to be nice to them because they were new members, but we always called them new money. New money, those new members. So, all right. Dad joke. Why did the rich man fail at baking bread? Apparently, he didn't need the dough. Maybe he decided to loaf. I don't know, but there's our dad joke for the day. Oh, let's see how you like that one. Yes, Elon's going to Venus. Outstanding. JD. Oh, the dancing bear. I miss you, JD. Michael. All right. On that note, let's call this a recap. Looking forward to tomorrow. Don't forget there is some information coming out for us tomorrow. Big information on Wednesday. Get a good night's rest. Stay clean. Wash your hands. We will see you tomorrow morning on the forecast at 8 o'clock. Hope to see you there. Trade well.